We have probably heard of Mungo Park and his famous discovery of the river Niger in Africa. And we have heard of Ferdinand Magellan and his trip across the seas. We were taught all of that in school, but that was just about it. Aside from the famous discoveries made by these men during their exploration, nobody talks about anything else. Interestingly, lots of fascinating things took place during each of these famous explorations and expeditions. Was it about Vasco da Gama's boat? Or the people Magellan traveled with? At some point, was Mungo Park ever terrified of the rapid currents of the vast Niger River? You're about to find out. For today, let's embark on a scintillating expedition as we explored fascinating facts about famous explorations and expeditions. Ferdinand Magellan's circumnavigation of the globe. 1. Magellan's expedition had a multinational crew. Although it was a Spanish expedition, Magellan's fleet featured a culturally diverse crew. Spaniards and Portuguese made up the vast majority of the sailors, but the voyage also included mariners from Greece, Sicily, England, France, Germany, and even North America. 2. Magellan was considered a traitor to his home country of Portugal. Originally, Ferdinand Magellan hailed from Portugal, but King Charles I of Spain sponsored his voyage. Enraged by this, the King of Portugal, King Manuel I, sent operatives to disrupt Magellan's preparations. He ordered that his family properties be vandalized and may have made attempts to assassinate him. Once the expedition sailed, Manuel I ordered 2 groups of Portuguese caravels to pursue Magellan's fleet in the hopes of capturing the navigator and bringing him back to his homeland in chains. 3. Many of Magellan's crew mutinied or deserted the expedition. Magellan's mostly Spanish crew didn't like the fact that they were led by a Portuguese captain, and the expedition was forced to weather 2 mutinies before it had even reached the Pacific. Worried that Magellan's obsession with finding a passage to the Pacific was going to doom the expedition, in April 1520, 3 of his 5 ships turned against him. Magellan and his supporters ultimately thwarted the revolt. 4. Magellan's expedition claimed to have encountered giants in South America. While anchored near modern-day Argentina, Magellan's men told tales of their encounter with 8-foot-tall men on the beaches of Patagonia. After befriending these giants, Magellan may have tricked them into boarding his ship and took one of the men captive. After being baptized and named Paul, the giant captive later died during the fleet's long crossing of the Pacific. 5. Magellan was a staunch Christian evangelist, and this may have cost him his life. Although it was never an official part of his mission, Magellan took it upon himself to convert all the indigenous people he came across to Christianity. The most notable example is King Humabon of Cebu. In April 1521 in the Philippines, he baptized King Humabon alongside thousands of his subjects. Magellan's religious fervor was so strong that he threatened to kill those chieftains who resisted converting to Christianity. This was such a harsh decree, and it ultimately proved to be his downfall. When a king named Lapu-Lapu refused to convert, Magellan's men burned his village on the island of Mactan. Magellan later returned to Mactan with 49 men and demanded that Lapu-Lapu yield to his authority. The king refused, and in the ensuing battle, Magellan was killed after he was struck by a spear and then repeatedly stabbed by the islanders' cutlasses and scimitars. Vasco da Gama's voyages. 1. Vasco da Gama's voyage contributed to the age of discovery and global exploration. They were essential in shaping the course of history. They marked the beginning of the Age of Discovery, a period characterized by extensive exploration, colonization, and the establishment of trade routes that connected the continents. Vasco da Gama's navigational skills and techniques played a crucial role in the success of his voyages. He used traditional methods like dead reckoning, astrolabes, and cross staffs to determine his ship's positions at sea. 2. Vasco da Gama's successful voyage to India had a profound impact on Portugal's influence in the Indian Ocean spice trade. It strengthened Portugal's influence in the Indian Ocean spice trade. 3. After a challenging and arduous journey, Vasco da Gama's fleet reached the shores of Calicut, Kozhikode, on the southwestern coast of India on May 20th, 1498. This marked the first successful European voyage to India via an all-sea route, bypassing the need to traverse the dangerous and costly land routes through the Middle East. This achievement had significant implications for global trade and diplomacy, as it allowed Europeans direct access to the rich markets of Asia. 4. Celebrated in the Portuguese epic Os Lusíadas, Vasco da Gama's achievements were immortalized in the epic poem Os Lusíadas, the Lusíads, written by the Portuguese poet Luís de Camões, published in 1572. The poem celebrates the exploits of Vasco da Gama and other Portuguese explorers. 5. In 1502, Vasco da Gama embarked on a second voyage to India, this time with a larger fleet and a more pronounced diplomatic role. After Vasco da Gama's second voyage to India, he continued to be involved in maritime and administrative affairs. Tragically, Vasco da Gama's life was cut short when he passed away on December 24, 1524, in Cochin, India. His death marked the end of an era of Portuguese exploration in the Indian Ocean. In his pioneering voyage to India, he became the first European to sail from Europe to India by sea. His fleet on his second voyage consisted of 20 armed ships. And that's a wrap, guys. How interesting was that? Sadly, we have come to the end of this exciting ride. Leave a comment in the comment section if you enjoyed this. Like and follow our channel for more of this beauty. Hop off, but don't stray too far away. We'll be back again, and our next ride promises to be more thrilling.